Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pokey coming at you again with another Esport matchup prediction. This time it's going to be for ESL Pro League EU playoffs on September 29th at 1500, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The matchup's going to be between Complexity Gaming and ENCE. Some important factors weighing into this matchup. Oboe for Complexity is being replaced by NATO Southix, formerly of Nordavind and Heroic, because Oboe decided to go back home to North America and is wanting to join a North American team. He's 17 years old. Can't really blame the kid. He's homesick. Needless to say, Complexity is the underdog in this matchup. Now, I don't think they're the underdog skill-wise. I just think that the odds makers are smart to weigh in the fact of we don't know how well they're going to play with the stand-in, because for the most part, I mean, they play some maps that ENCE is pretty good at. I think Blame F's really gonna have to take into effect the veto for this matchup. In my opinion, the only way Complexity Gaming wins this matchup is if, first off, Blame F has to ban Train. If he floats Train to ENCE, I don't think it's gonna be a good time, because what usually happens when you're playing with a stand-in is the T side struggles. And if you have a bad T side on Train, ENCE will run it up on you. They'll get 13 rounds on you, and you're just not going to come back from that now with the stand-in. If he does ban Train, what he does is he forces ENCE to either pick Overpass or pick Inferno or pick Dust 2. ENCE's Inferno is okay, not all that great. I don't think they pick Inferno. I don't think they're confident enough on it. I think if you're playing a playoff match, you pick one of your best maps. And I think they're going to pick Dust 2, personally, because with Complexity playing with a stand-in, who knows how good that communication is going to be. And Dust 2 is you have to rotate fast on that map, because the map is so compact. You know, I don't know how well the communication is going to be. I think ENCE wins Dust 2. I don't think they have an issue winning Dust 2, to be honest. The only thing I can see maybe coming into effect is the double op setup, because if Poison and NATO both get an op and they get that economy game in check, you know, maybe they could come out and surprise me. But that's the op's an expensive gun. If you don't get the chance to buy it, you know, then you're never going to see it. And that's what I think the problem's going to be. I think the economy is going to be a big problem with Dust 2, because the force buys and the team play coming from ENCE is going to keep them in check. I think the Complexity picks Nuke. I think they'd be silly to not pick Nuke. ENCE, and to be honest, doesn't have that great of a nuke. They don't. They did have that amazing game against Heroic, which is why I think the odds makers, they're favoring ENCE so heavily. But to be honest, I'm not impressed with their nuke at all. If we take a look over at the HLTV map page, so if we take a look at the match page, right, we look at the map setup for both teams, and we take a look at the analytics center. So if we take a look at the analytics page right here, ENCE picks Train first 53% of the time. Complexity has to ban Train. Blatantly obvious. ENCE is that's the map that ENCE is the most confident on out of any other map. So if we take a look at ENCE's nuke stats right here, you can see that they have a 50% win rate on nuke. And they did win against Big and Heroic on nuke, which are both great nuke teams. But at the same time, the matches that they lost, they were dominated. If you look at the matchup between G2 and ENCE, they allowed 12 rounds on T side. If we take a look at Godsent versus ENCE, they allowed 13 rounds on T side. Now, while they did win against Big and Heroic, this matchup right here, I put a huge asterisk next to, personally, because this is the day after Heroic's coach got banned. So Hunden literally got banned the night prior to this. Then the next day, they're playing an ESL Pro League match. They're obviously all over the place. Their comps are jacked up. You know, their minds really aren't in the game. They allow ENCE to get 14 rounds on CT side. When you're playing a team like Complexity, what's most important to this matchup is Oboe does not play a gigantic role on nuke. He does not play an entry role. That's rush. And he does not play the lurk role. So you still have your 3 core nuke players. You have your entry fragger and rush. You have config, who's your main rifler, and you have blame F, who's literally he has one of the highest game IQs in the entire pro scene right now, without a doubt. Now you have NATO, right, who's gonna fit into playing Obo's spot. Now Obo plays ramp. So what can you do at ramp if you get your money up? You double op. And in my opinion, I think this is going to be a decent setup for complexity. I think NATO's a decent enough rifler to be able to hold down the CT side nuke. I think they can slot him in to be in that second entry to where, that third entry to where Obo would normally fit, because Rush is going to go out there and body block the bullets anyways. That's his whole purpose. So if NATO can just trade frag there, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I think complexity wins nuke. I think we get it to a third map, and I think the third map likely is either Mirage or Overpass. Personally, I don't want to have money on the line when that map comes, because it's going to be badass if it gets to it. Period. I know it's going to be close. It's going to be a lot of clutches. Pistol rounds are going to be important. Hell no, I don't want my money on the line on that shit. I want to have that shit cashed after the second map. I'm going to take ENCE to win Dust 2. I'm going to take complexity to win nuke. Maybe a surprise pick of Mirage. I don't think so, though, because I think ENCE is stronger on Mirage than nuke. And I think we get a third map of Overpass or Mirage if it does go there, which we hope. So if we take a look here at Bet Online, we're getting pretty decent odds. It's at plus 102. I'm going to lay 3 units to get back to 3.06 units profit. I'm going to take the over, 2.5. I'm going to enjoy myself. Don't forget to follow me on the social media platforms. I'll be appreciated. My Twitter is at PixPokey. My YouTube is Pokey Esport Analyst. If you guys could like and subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. Likes on the video help tell the YouTube algorithm that potential users that fit the similar search history of yourself might like my videos, which would also give me some exposure, which would be awesome, and I'd appreciate it. Let's hope we get that money, guys. I'll catch you guys on the flip.